slightly more traditional.
anticipating a pullback, where would I add my longs?
So, coach, no adjustment of stops in any way. You're
Leave it alone.
around.
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
Leave it
Thank
alone,
you.
right?
Thank you, coach.
Yeah.
That's the discipline I'm trying to learn. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. Because listen, so where did I say, right? Now we're looking at VWAP. Where would be a good point to shed? Wouldn't it be right here? Collect as we go up. So don't I want to shed right here?
Yes, sir.
If I bought here and I'm up here, statistically, we know it's going to want to pull back here. Don't I want to get rid of some of this, right? I want to collect. If I don't collect, I don't gain anything. So this is where I collect. Do I get all the way out?
50%.
No, I don't get all the way out, right? I've already got my stop. We've already got our clear definitive stop, which is going to be right here around my 9, right? Because the 21 was above it. The 9 is below it. And now we're getting this tight little coil. I've shed some right here. And for the rest of you master scalpers, where would I add in more? If I shed on this spot, anticipating a pullback, where would I add my longs? Anticipating a pull. So wouldn't my 9 be the inverse of the 21 being the downside of that? So isn't that where I would want my stop?
And like you said, from here, it could, keep going down, try it again, whatever.
Correct.
But here we took advantage of a high percentage opportunity, and that was the point, right?
That is correct. Yep. You did a double bottom bounce, and this is support. And on support, what do we do, everybody, on support?
Calls.
That's right. So now we're in calls. Right? So if we were in calls from this double bottom bounce from previous day, now we're respecting right here on this 21 and the 9. So if it's going to pull back, isn't it going to be exactly right here?
A high percentage of the time, yes.
Right? So if you look at it, wasn't it respecting the 21 the whole time?
Yes.
So if it's going to do it, it would be here. And if it doesn't, my calls are still good to VWAP. So if I'm in this, and the 21 and 9 are so close, my stop is below this 9, and I allow all of this to work. Here is my stop. This is where I bought it, because my 9 being the inverse on the bottom side is where the buck stops, right? You know how I always talk about the 9 and the 21. The 21, I'm always like, the 21 is where it ends. That's the end of it, right? Well, you're going through it. We're trying to break through it. So wouldn't my 9 be the inverse of the 21 being the downside of that? So isn't that where I would want my stop? Things that make you go, And now we've got all of this is free territory. And this is where we bought the calls. All of this is profit. And up here, you take your dirty little hands. Look down at your dirty little hands and tell it, don't play with that. Stop dinking around. You've got your stop in place. Why are you messing with it? Leave it alone. All of these little micro movements, this is only for my master scalpers in the room, okay? As you can see it, look at the 9, it's closing in. We've also got our major level down here, which is our double bottom. We're all watching this. So if you look at it, this is our little double bottom right in here. This whole little area, see it? Oh, there she goes. Look at it getting volume. You got 5 seconds. And look at the volume coming in now. 2 seconds, 1 second, go, boom, shift change, volume coming in. Now look at it. Now we're above the 9, but now we're cautious. Why? It's 10 o'clock. We're going to start to see a lot of like, woo, 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 right? Pop drop, right? A lot of weird stuff going to happen here.
Gotta be patient.
Yep, right here. What did that just move to? And then stop.
The 21.
21 right there. What is my break? The 21, right? Buck stops there. So again, master scalpers, if we're looking at this, if this breaks above the 21, what would be a good trading strategy?
Oh.
That's right. Up to what?
VWAP.
That's right. Why? Why would I be thinking of to VWAP?
Because you
Make the
can't
level.
pull back.
Because that's the next level of resistance, right?
Yeah.
Now, if this breaks and holds below this double bottom, what would be a great trading strategy?
It's
Why?
because
Because
that will
going to be support. That's right. There's no more support.
have entered the aftermarket. AmericanDreamTrading.com. Welcome. You are now in the aftermarket. Welcome to American Dream Trading's The Aftermarket live chat and watch party. I'm your host, Dawn, aka J&J Video Reacts. And this is a stream that's been created for you traders to come hang out after the market. However, where the fuck's everybody at, Gilly? Nobody's here. What the hell's going on? Anyway, maybe we'll just go ahead and do a watch party. So I might as well just start the shorts because there's nobody in the live chat. So we'll go ahead and, maybe the other thing's still going. I don't know. It was still going on. So maybe that's what's happening. But the cool thing is at American Dream Trading, we are all learning how to trade. So we're all somewhere learning how to trade. I lost it for a minute. We're all somewhere learning how to trade. And we also have been taught by Chad W. Christian. He is a 32-year stock market veteran, and he is literally traded in every market condition imaginable. And the cool thing is he trains us to do the same thing. We trade when the market goes up. We trade when the market goes down. So it doesn't matter what it's doing. We get paid. So thank you, Coach, for allowing us to come and hang out on your YouTube channel and TikTok and Facebook and X and LinkedIn. It's awesome. It's amazing. So if you have not joined American Dream Trading, the link is pinned to the top of the live chat. It is AmericanDreamTrading.com. And right now, if you sign up, you get 25% off by using code 2025 on any of your first-time purchases with American Dream Trading. So you can get any of our services. And right now, we got the Diamond, baby, which includes all of the services that we offer. It's an amazing deal on that. Coach can charge... He has charged what? His going rate for a one-on-one is $6,000 an hour. He's doing the Diamond that includes all his services and a one-on-one for $20,000 total. And you can break that up into 4 payments of $5,000. So $5,000 a quarter. And the cool thing is you will most likely, because nothing's guaranteed, you will double that with the training that you get in here. So get on that. Get on that ASAP. I think we got somebody in the backstage. All right, there's my bud. I see you. I'll put you in 2 seconds. Second link is the Restream link. Pebbles just used it. If you want to join the stream, come on up. Hang out. Let's do our Friday freestyle. Let's reflect on our week. Were you green? Did you have a green week? Did you have a green Friday? And look forward to the following week. Don't forget, the market is closed on Monday, Martin Luther King's birthday celebration. So there will be no market on Monday. We've got an extended weekend. So Tuesday, we will be back on it. And the last link is yours truly's tip jar. This is part of how I get paid. So since it is part of my income, if you would be so kind to grace it, it's not mandatory, but it is appreciated. It helps me keep the lights on. So let me go ahead and let Pebbles in. Hey, Pebbles. What's going on, buddy?
Well, I tried to get in yesterday, but I couldn't. I was locked out for some reason.
Oh, anyway, that must have been a glitch because we had people on the panel. So I don't know what happened there.
I know. I couldn't get on. I mean, I have nothing but computer problems with everything. So.
I hate that for you. How'd you do today?
I was green.
Yay!
With paper and real money, but real small.
Well, the amount doesn't matter. The fact that you were green is what matters, right?
And I was able to stay in the trade for at least an hour or two. So
you hung on that long. Diamond Hands Pebbles.
Well,
I'm going to call you Pebble Diamond.
No.
Diamond Pebble?
I just pick stocks that nobody else picks. I guess I don't know. At any rate, I tried to go into Apple.
Mhm.
No. Apple Chat.
Yeah.
What do they do there? Just type stuff in?
Yeah, pretty much every move that David and Eric make, they normally just type it in there and create a roadmap for you so that you can see what trades are doing. Not to mirror or mimic or follow them, but to at least follow along and see what levels that they are have charted out and see how they're trading it. You know what I mean? So yeah, we're pretty good at that. Yeah.
I
It,
turned I turned it off because it was all Apple was just going down, and I don't play anything going down. So later on, when a stock is going up,
you only do shares, don't you?
yeah, that's all.
Yeah.
And
So
I can only because I've got such a small account, I can't go down.
well, Apple has some small stocks that I forget what the tickers are, AAPU or something like that, and another one that you can play when it goes down, and they're fairly cheap. I mean, I think they're under $100.
No, okay, I didn't know about them. So
Yeah, I'll find out the tickers for you. I think Coco knows. There's a couple people that know them. We'll get somebody to throw them in the chat for you. And yeah, look into those next week if you want to follow Apple. But David and Eric put a lot of time into that thing, and that a lot of people. It's kind of a Apple cheat code, if you will. You know, so there's a lot of people getting paid hanging out in there.
and then with Weeble, um, something's wrong with the whole damn thing here. I've got stocks in here that I never put in here, and and then the top of the screen just disappears, and then I don't know what I'm. I can't get to the tools up here on the top.
Yeah.
Put in the lines and that, and it's just a recurring problem all the time. So I've got
Well,
this
you're talking
out.
about Weeble.
It's on Weeble, yeah.
Yeah, that happens to me, and usually what it is I don't know why I have to do this, but I'll put my cursor because I've got my L2 on the screen. I'll put it over there, and I'll use my mouse, and I'll scroll down, and it'll pull it back down.
I tried doing that, and it didn't work. And then I tried changing it, and I ended up deleting all of my charts. I went in. I went in. There's someplace else I went in here, and I saw them all in there, and I clicked on them, but I still didn't get them back. So I got to go back and bother Bruno, I guess.
Miranda, warn Bruno. Pebbles is on his way.
So
That's
I got to
okay.
do that Monday when he's off.
There you go. There you go.
So I traded on Thinkorswim platform all day. So
Okay. Well, that's a good thing. A lot of people do TOS. There they come. Gilly's like, yeah, I was wondering the same thing. Miranda's down there now. Now we got the handy homemaker. Jeanette's down there. Hey, guys. Joey Joe, what's going on? I'm like, where the hell is everybody? I'm like, is Richard still yapping? What the hell's going on? It's like, guys, 5 o'clock. Cut that shit. I know it's a bunch of questions. I heard it. I know. I'm just kidding with you guys. It was a bunch of questions, and they were very good questions. They were in a master class at the end of the Zoom because I was just listening, and a lot of good information was being dealt out. So good for you guys swooping all that in. Broken Equilibrium, what's going on? Hopefully you're not broke, Equilibrium. Did you get paid today? Ah, you like that? Miranda. Okay, AAPU. And what's that one, Miranda? The one for up, right? The long one. Palm was giving up. I know it. I heard the tail end of it. Look, I was almost late coming in here. I was still listening. So yeah, I was putting stuff up and making sure the other screens were flashing through and listening to it. If you saw, I was in there late. That was awesome. Palm is amazing. I mean, he really knows his shit, and so does Richard. You know what I mean? I mean, we have nothing but gurus here. Nate, and now Mark is mastering futures. So no matter where you turn, you're gonna have somebody that knows their shit. So you're in a good organization. This is amazing. We are all blessed. Hey Jeanette, do you know because Miranda put one of them down there, AAPU for Pebbles, the Apple smaller stocks we were looking at. What was that? Because there's one that goes up and one that goes down. Don't you know them? I know AAPU's one. AAPU is the bull. Okay, so Miranda said that AAPU is the bull, right? And then AAPD is the bear, Pebbles. So U for up, D for down. And I'll see him writing those down. Yep, APPD. What? APPD. Oh, shit. Yeah. AAPD. Yep. Thank you so much, handy homeowner. I keep doing it. I almost did it again. Handy homemaker. What the hell? Homeowner, Dawn. Homeowner. Owner. Okay, I got it. I'll never do that again.
So how'd you do today, Dawn?
I did good. I made $100 on Tesla because Tesla was going straight up, and I had to make up for a $60 hit that I took on IWM when it was going down this morning. I went a little bit too far out of the money, and it didn't pick me up. And then when it went inverse, when it started going back up, I was down $40 because I had 10 contracts. So then I got another one fresh while it was going down, made $20 back of it, but when I sold, it was break even. So, Robinhood, they will take the 20 anyway. So I was down 60 on IWM, but the cool thing is Tesla brought me out of the 60. So I made $160 basically. Brought me out of the $60 deficit. Plus I went up $115. And then I got out of it because I just got crazy whack funky, but it kept going up. Yeah, I left like $250 on the table by doing that. But the only reason I did was because I couldn't watch the trade. I had a meeting to go to this afternoon, a media team meeting. So I could not stay in it. But it's all good. You know what I mean? I'm happy with what I got. I get to go into next week with money to trade. And this is a really good week. I got all my bills paid. I put another 100 towards that back car payment, and we got grocery money for the weekend, and I got money to trade Tuesday. So I'm a happy camper.
I kept losing track of what day am I on this 90-day challenge. So I went back and I took notes on all the days that were there, and I've got them. So sometimes you get a little depressed, So you can look back at your notes and say, yeah, I actually made money that day.
And cheer
I
yourself
got it right
up,
up front where I can look at it. And
right. We got Palm Coast on here with us.
Red days, so.
Yeah. Well, look, I'm so happy that you're having green days. And, the more consistent you get, that's all we want for you. It doesn't matter the amount of money right now. Just stay green.
Did I hear that right? He's having green days?
He's having green days, Palm.
Awesome. Good job.
Yeah.
How many out of 5?
Well, out of 10, I've got 7.
Nice job.
Oh, let's give him the bell.
Nice.
Good for you. Nice.
And I haven't taken any big hits. either. So
Good.
I'm within the 3%.
That's great. That whole green day strategy is something that we started talking about here in After Hours, quite some time ago. And it started with just get in, get green, get out, and learn how to get a green trade. And then once you get some green trades, start focusing on green trades. So that's really the turnabout I see for most entry level traders is just getting in, getting green, and getting out. And once you start getting that down, focus on having some green days. And I got to tell you, 90 days. What I'm seeing so far is like huge turnabouts. I've seen some people's charts where people have posted up how many green days they had, they were showing like a 30-day red day, green day, red day, green day. It looked like a freaking Christmas tree. It looked, and it's just red and green, red and green, red and green. And it was kind of a mixed bag, and they were probably moving forward a little bit, or they have a couple months positive and kind of have a little slippage. When they start this our aftermarket, our let's just call it our green day focus. Then quite often within the first 30 days, that they actually start that the get in, get green, get out, and focus on green days. There's a big difference in how much green is showing up on that next 30 days. So when you start it, take a look at how your last 90 days look, and it's pretty easy to do on Webull. How many reds and greens, and just write a number off to the side and put it in your journal. And when you start with your get in, get green, get out, and focus on working your way into green days, and do that for 30 days, and then chart that for 90 days, I got to tell you, that's probably the single most significant thing that is turning people's accounts around overall. And the most powerful thing is the ADT trading strategy, but you can't begin to execute the ADT trading strategy until you can get your entries. And then the first thing you do is learn to mitigate your losses with those entries. So that's the get in, get green, get out thing. And then as you stick with it, being able to stay in longer and shed becomes organic. Beginning to have more green days becomes organic. Your growth becomes organic. And you go from hacking your way through and flipping coins every single day to actually moving your account forward. And that really, I think, is the training wheels for the program. And I'm just going to call it, the Aftermarket Green Day Club, because this is where we started it, right? Get in, get green, get out.
Yeah.
And the Aftermarket Green Day Club. And more, how you got to admit, Don, how many times are people talking about their green days now since we started pushing that?
Oh, a lot.
And then it's like, hey, Noonie had what? 30, 60, 45 days, 50, 60 days or something like that of green days.
Yeah. I think she's now working on the second month.
It's turning her account around, right?
Absolutely.
And a lot of people, so many people. I got a buddy that I've been working with for, oh my God, forever. And he just he was doing a little bit because he's working full time, and he just, we'd have some talk about stock and stuff from that. And he's been a friend of mine for 3 decades. And then more recently, he's semi-retired, so that he's spending a little more time training and stuff like that. And he showed me his charts, from basically when he was kind of dabbling to working on getting green, getting out, and green days. He's had a 77% turnaround in green days on his 30-day calendars. 77%.
That's huge.
It's huge. And the amounts was $5 here, $20 here, $150 up here, down $250 here. He is consistently hitting $100 to $250 a day every day. And really, that's the dream. He can quit his job I told him if he can do that for a year, and have a great amount of consistency with it, and then confirm it for another year, he can quit his part-time work. And learning how to budget through that, of course. We talked about percentages and stuff. So Pebbles, congratulations, man. Just keep doing that. Get in, get green, get out. And now you're working on getting your green days, and then that just continues to roll the carpet out for all the rest of it. And then you can start building on the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. It's just a little bit at a time, but you can't get nothing if you can't get your entries, right?
That's it.
You don't have your entries and you don't have loss mitigation. You don't need to be in the stock market.
No.
So that's where we start. We start with our entries. We start with capturing a little green, and we get the hell out, and we do it thousands of times. And then over the course of time, like, I can stay in this longer. I can see this now. I can follow that 921. I can ride it a little further, so on and so
Right.
on. Next thing you know, your account just starts growing and growing and growing. So that's congratulations, Pebbles. That's freaking awesome. And I got to tell you that this Green Day movement is getting huge. I hear it every day now. And
Yeah.
you know, hey coach, I had a green day. Hey coach, I had a green day. Hey, I had a green day. How many green days? You know, X amount. And coach is eating it up too. He's like totally reinforcing it and stuff. So that's
like,
that's
what
part
are
of
you
the
gonna
that's part of the aftermarket brainchild right there.
do? It's like you can't. I mean, it all starts with that. You know what I'm
It
saying?
does.
If you're not green, it's like, what are you doing this for? Why are you going through the stress and the, you know, the rigmarole of watching trades if you're not gonna get out of it green? You know, this morning I had a ball, you know, just getting in and out of trades. I had like 6 or 7 green trades back to back to back. I just kept getting out, getting in, getting out, getting in, getting out. If it looked like it was pulling back, I didn't wait. I was green, I got out. You know, and I was like, this is what it's all about right here. Just mastering this process.
Yeah.
You know.
And you get like $20 here, $50 there, $30 there. And next thing you know, it's like, whoop, 150, 100, you know, 125, 250. One just takes off, and and you have no choice but to stay, right? Because it's just running your direction. So, but you can't have those. You can't have those if you're not getting into some trades.
Let's talk about Mark McSee for a second. He did that very thing. $700 account, and he starts just playing around with futures. $5, $10, $10 here, $10, $20, $15, and he has turned a $700 account to a 5-figure account. That's insane.
Yep.
Just by doing that, he paper traded it for like 3 weeks. And just by doing that, getting in, getting green, and that's exactly what he did.
Yep.
You know?
It really is. It really is the front porch of the whole ADT trading mansion.
Yeah.
You know, if you can't get on the front porch, you can't go in the house.
There
right?
you go.
It's just that simple. You can stand out in the yard all you want, picking your nose, twirling around and looking at shit. But if you can't get up on the front porch, you cannot begin to enjoy that beautiful
Can't
new
come
home.
in the house.
Yep. And I, you know, one of the first things I noticed a long time ago was I was having more and more conversations, and it's like I would say the majority of the people in our room start or are in with small accounts.
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking, and I'm like, I'm hearing things from, you know, the big shooters, you know, and some of these impressive numbers and stuff. And then once I started, once I stepped in as a mod, then the conversations I'm having with people told me that it was a very different picture. I thought the room was full of a lot of big dollar traders, and it's full, actually mostly entry level traders, and it's probably, you know, 70-30 or 80-20, something like that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I clearly need to gear these conversations different. And I'm like, if most people are sitting there, you know, out in the front yard looking at the big pretty house and never get to enjoy any of it, how long are they going to stick around?
Right.
So I'm like, okay, we need to function. You know, we need to first do all the things, because, you know, and that was really that was the basics of it. Get in, get green, get out, work on your entries, and especially if you've been coming from a variety of different backgrounds like everybody has, you know.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing to learn. And if you're doing that with the ADT trading strategy, that's where you need to be to start the whole process. And the funny thing is, I've heard people that have been stuck in the mud for a very long time that are doing this, and they're turning corners, and they're getting green days, and they're getting green weeks, and getting green months and stuff. So it's like,
I'm one of them. I'm happy.
it's just so anyway, I've got a lot of training experience. So once I actually got to get inside of people's minds for a little bit and kind of see where everybody's at, then it was a lot easier for me to then tailor, you know, direction and stuff. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, it's so funny. We were joking with Richard about some of his lessons. It's, you know, sometimes it's a little bit over our heads, but, you know, he does the same thing. He ends up tailoring it I think he's dealing with the same situation that you are. It's an awakening. Like, okay, wait a minute. I might need to dial it back because most of these people in here are entry. Most of us had little to no experience trading at all. So, and one thing that we try to do here and in the pre-market is we try to, and I know you do it throughout the day, we try to lower people's expectations. You know, you got people in here with $500 to $1,000 accounts trying to be Nate. You know what I mean? And it's like they're trying to be you. And it's like, guys, you don't understand. They started, just like you did. That didn't just happen overnight. Those accounts just didn't grow by osmosis. That took time and effort. So you've got to put in the same time and effort. It's not just going to magically all of a sudden. And don't get me wrong, coaches teaching is simple and it's accelerated. It'll get you to a point where most people never get quickly.
Yep.
But it's not going to take you from A to Z in 6 months. And I thought it would. And some people it did. Don't get me wrong. Some people it did. Some people the journey's different. That's supposed
Yeah.
to be a unicorn. But for the most part, it's going to take you a year, 2 years to really dig in and get that.
Yeah. Keep in mind, Nate is an accomplished business person outside
Yes.
outside of our room.
Yes.
Highly successful. So his mind is already trained in he's got mental disciplines that are developed from other parts of his life.
Absolutely.
Myself similar. It's like I knew business before I knew stocks.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it was a natural transition to learn stocks and how they perform, because I already had a really strong working knowledge of business from an administration side. So it's like there's a little bit of help there. And then you got Jimmy, who was just simply smoking meat for a living and just didn't know not to screw up his own mind. When coach told him to do something, he just did it.
Yeah.
So
you find a lot of business people. Jen and I owned a successful business for 12 years. You find a lot of business-minded people tend to take to this because that's that entrepreneur thing. You can guide yourself, and they tend to latch on. Yeah.
Yeah. A blank slate when it comes to trading is more helpful than having some previous experience that was just marginal. So,
I love it. I love not knowing anything because it would have clouded me. Speaking of which, with the financial background, Ange, what's up?
Hey, Ange. How you been? Haven't talked to you in a while.
Yeah. How are you?
Awesome. I'm doing awesome. How is everybody doing?
Well, very well.
Sweet.
Pebbles has had 7 out of 10 green days.
I heard. I was listening in. That's amazing. Good for you.
Yeah, he's making it happen. How are you doing? You're
awesome.
You're button futures. What about Mark, huh? And you're his inspiration.
I love it. I love it. It is so fun to and you know me, like I love being a part of, just about anything. But when you find your niche in something, it becomes a whole new area to just have fun in. I love it.
You took to it well too.
To answer Joey Joe's question down in chat, get in, get out with trailing stop or market. Use a limit or a market. If things are moving fast, sometimes you got to use a market. If things are moving super fast, use a limit. And then your choice of a trailing stop or setting a stop separately is your choice. You just have to work with what works for you.
There it is. Joey Joe. What do you guys got planned for the weekend?
I'm going to the shooting range.
Are you?
Yeah. I like target shooting. It's fun. There's a pistol and a rifle range in Florida. It's no surprise we have gun ranges in Florida. So it got to be something I did with my buddies on lunch breaks when I was in my corporate career. We go to the shooting range for an hour and and have contests, like the points on the paper and stuff. And so occasionally it's nice to go get some fresh air. We have some outdoor ranges down here in Florida, and they're in like big conservatory areas and stuff. So you get to smell the fresh air and
nice.
So that's kind of fun.
I've got a story about that. Speaking of shooting, right? BB guns, right? I had a buddy who had a couple of these BB rifles. and he said, let's practice doing some shooting. So we were shooting like some cans and stuff from like long range because he had these scopes on them. And I was pretty damn good shot, man. So here's one thing, right? We start shooting at what we thought was an abandoned house.
Oh no.
You know where I'm going with this. All of a sudden, Peking window. Yeah. High-fiving each other. Peking. Somebody appears in one of the windows downstairs and said, "Can you please stop shooting out our window?"
Oh shit. Oh no.
I will never forget that. I was so embarrassed. We were apologizing up and down. It was like, oh my God, and we were full adults. So I'm like, whatever it costs, I was working, we'll get it paid for. We thought the house was abandoned because it looked like that, but
Note to self, knock on the front door before shooting up a house.
I couldn't believe that.
Oh,
But
man.
he was huge into BB guns. He had like a whole collection of them. I remember we saw this rat. We were in Baltimore City. We saw this rat. He's like, watch this. He hit that thing. Wee, wee, wee. I mean, it just started popping up and down like popcorn off the ground, up and down, up and down. He shot a rat. I was like, no way, man. That's some tar. And it was moving. So yeah.
I'll stick to paper and then a hamburger and a beer at the local bar when I'm done.
Sounds good to me.
Oh man. So what are you doing this weekend, Ange?
Not that.
Not that.
What am I going to do this weekend? Well, so I'm in the middle of changing my schedule, so I'll be doing futures overnight versus during the day. So I'm excited about that.
Cool.
So that'll be interesting this coming week as I transition over. What else am I doing? Jada starts indoor ball this weekend, so we are gearing up for the next softball season. So that's always exciting. And I'm spending a ton of time on TradingView. I am working on my position size and my own entries as I'm gearing up for the pretty large quantities of future contracts at a time. So I'm in and out of in there. I love TradingView because I can go and rewind and do all the things and stuff like that. So I am, while I love downtime, I will live, eat, sleep, and breathe this until I reach my goal. And then I'll rest, right? So I'm doing some training this weekend. So yeah, and my kids are getting older now. They don't need me quite as much. So mama's got time to do things she wants to do.
Do you trade crypto at all?
So I have some crypto on Robinhood. And then I do sometimes go on TradingView and do paper trading on Bitcoin for practice. But outside of that, no.
I've been trading XRP and trading it on TradingView, but I've been charting it on TradingView and trading it and just making $10 hits here and there, just going from $3.26 up to $3.36. And I've been doing that consistently the past couple of days. I didn't know that you could trade that literally around the clock. And then it clicked today when I was talking to Coach that it's not like money. So it doesn't, the bank's thing doesn't affect it. So I'm like, okay, wow, this is a good way to practice. And they give it to you on a margin, so you get it right away.
How do you,
That's awesome.
do you have to have a separate account? Do you have to have a separate account for crypto?
Nope.
So is it in Webull?
I know it's on TradingView. I mean, it's on TradingView, the chart, but Robinhood, just pull up the ticker and yeah, it's available.
I thought you could trade crypto on Webull too. Maybe not.
I'm not sure.
Webull Pay. It's a different platform.
Oh, okay.
Which Mark says like is a no-go. It like really sucks apparently. I don't know, but
and I figure if it's not one like on the crypto channel, like if it's not one that's listed, like I'm just not interested in like using that platform, right? Like if I'm gonna go that route.
And Robinhood makes it extremely easy. I just went in the search bar and typed in XRP. It pulled up, hey, buy, sell, and here's the price it's running at. I'm like, no shit. So I
I'm
played
glad.
around with it.
I'm glad you brought that up. So I can't tell you how many conversations in the last 6 months we've had in the room about somebody's asking XRP and what do you think and where's it going and stuff. And I'm like, trade it, don't own it. And
Yep.
and some people, I'm telling you, for a decade ago, I had a friend that got all excited. He bought it in around $1 and it went down to like 65 cents or something like that, or even lower. Had 10 grand in it. He's been sitting there for 10 years with his money doing not a freaking thing.
Oh.
And I'm like, wait until it becomes something and then start trading it. And then if you see some potential in owning it, then that's to be determined
And
later.
buy and hold.
But sub-dollar, forget it.
Yeah.
Don't sit on something sub-dollar ever. So now that it's finally into that like $3-ish range, now you can start trading it.
And it's tradable. It goes up 10 cents down.
Yeah.
10 cents.
If it's $1.50, $1.70, you'll sit there and grind out 2, 3, 5 cents. Who cares? Once it gets above $2 in that $2 to $2.50, it gets trapped by grinders.
Yeah.
Once you start getting into that $3 range, now it's tradable.
Yeah.
Now it's like, okay, now it's fine to actually like do something. And the people that have been sitting there forever, I don't care if they've tripled or 4x their money. If they've been sitting in it for 10 years, you haven't done squat by 4xing your investment in over 10 years. It's not the next Bitcoin. It's not going to the moon. It's not the next Amazon. And that's what, and anytime you hear somebody trying to sell you something saying, didn't you want to be in a Bitcoin when it was like 0.007 cents, or didn't you want to be in an Amazon when it was $1.10 a share? That is immediately somebody trying to scam you or defraud you or tell you or sell you some bullshit that they know nothing about.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, now it's tradable. XRP, finally, it's tradable.
Yeah.
Enjoy. Now you can make money on it. But otherwise, I got to tell you, for the last 12, 15 years when I first heard about it, I'm glad I didn't do squat with it because I had people that have been sitting in that forever.
Yeah.
Forever.
I love that it's in that range because I can get 100, 200 shares and just play around with it. You know what I mean? In, out, in, out. And I'm like, wow, this is actually really cool. And the fact that it's margin, you can get it right away. I mean, hell, it's worth it to practice scalping.
10 cents a day, 30 days. What percentage is that? 100%. Yeah,
crazy.
you can trade that around the clock. You can hit 10 cents a day on your XRP. It's like that makes sense to me. Sitting and being a bag holder forever, watching it do whatever circling of the toilet it's doing. Like no.
That's so funny you said that. I remember buying like 20 of them a couple weeks ago, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna sit on this. I'm gonna get like 20 a week and pile it up to a couple hundred of them. All of a sudden, I'm sitting there one day and I'm like, okay, this is barely moving. And I'm like, well, I know you're supposed to sit and hold it. And then I went up like a couple dollars and then it came back down. I'm like, I'm going to sell this shit. It's tying up buying power. And that's how I found out it was margin because it showed up right in my buying. I'm like, oh, okay. It showed up right in my buying power. So all of a sudden, day before yesterday, I'm sitting there and I saw how it was moving in increments and then coming down, but then going back. I'm like, well, wait a minute. Can I scalp this? And I just got into it and just let it sit for like an hour or so. I made $10. I'm like, okay, let's go XRP. It's on and popping. And that was when it was still at $2 and some change. So I traded it from $2 up into the threes. So I'm like, okay, this is fun. So
now that you can watch it on TradingView, you can put XRP on TradingView. Now you can use the indicators to watch it. If you're riding the 9 on that, now you can actually trade it. Now you can actually do something with it.
You can see the double bottom. I traded off the double bottom like twice. It went down and to 326, and I'm like, Jem was like, "Where you going?" I rushed out of the bedroom. I'm like, XRP's at 326. It's about to bounce. So like, I need to get this 10-cent run real quick. I'll be back. So I went and got back in it. So yeah, it's fun. Pebbles, what are you doing this weekend?
I think I'm pruning bushes or trees or something. If the weather is fine, today it was 45 degrees.
Oh,
The people are moving their ice shacks off the lake right and left. But it's this
What
weekend.
state
I
are
think,
you in?
huh?
What state are you in?
Wisconsin.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
But this weekend it's supposed to go down to like 12 below zero. So
Oh,
I'm not doing much outside today.
I wouldn't do it. You don't need hypothermia.
No.
Wow. Well, that sounds.
What
Wow.
kind of trouble are you getting into this weekend, Dawn?
Me?
Yeah.
What, scalping XRP? And
No, what are you going to be doing this weekend? What do you do with your free time?
Scalping
probably
XRP.
yeah,
Scalping
scalping
XRP.
XRP. This is my dawn cave. It can be me doing that or end up pulling out my bass and playing, or maybe pulling out the kit and banging on the drums for a little bit. And yeah, that's my downtime. When I get the urge, I start jamming out. That's my step away from trading activity. So, and I haven't played in a while, so I'm feeling like I might have to jam out this weekend a little bit.
What do? You put on a backtrack and then play along with it, or
I do.
Okay.
I got a Bluetooth speaker over here called, like, it's a game day. It's like this big speaker.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just Bluetooth it, put on like Chili Peppers, or a whole album of something, Stuart Copeland or something, and just jam out for like an hour. To Police, just different shit. It could be Biggie Smalls, it could be anything, you know what I mean? Prince. And I just jam out for an hour, and sometimes I just go ahead and just go bass with it. Yep. Jem plays a guitar.
What's that?
Jem plays a guitar.
Oh, that's cool. Regular or bass?
Regular.
Oh, okay. I've tried that when I was much younger. My hands are kind of large, so I was always like kind of pressing on other strings at the same time.
I
So
have
it's
no
not.
patience with the guitar.
Yeah, it's a lot more difficult than it looks. People make it
Yeah.
look pretty easy, and it's like, okay, feel
Yeah.
clumsy. But I
Give me the
can't.
bass. 4
Yeah, my hands
strings.
are too heavy. But yeah, that's cool. Do you have like electronic pads, or do you have skins?
No, I have skins. I got a pearl set.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
very
I
nice.
got a five piece kit, and some Zildjian cymbals, and yeah, it's my babe. I love that. I love that kit.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yep.
I seen Bucko was saying he shot USPSA and 3-gun for several years. So it looks like another hobbyist in the crowd.
Couldn't
That's
keep a
Jen's
beat if I
stepdad.
wanted to.
What's that?
I
What?
couldn't keep a beat if I wanted to.
Oh man. Well, I told you guys we discovered I could play at like 7, just out of nowhere, because my dad's family, so that his side of the family is a bunch of musicians and mechanics, basically. And yeah, I just tagged along with him at band rehearsal one day and just jumped on while they were taking a break and was playing. I'll never forget Boss Skaggs' Dirty Lowdown was playing.
Oh, I love that song.
And I jumped into it and started playing it. And they were like, where the hell did she learn how to do that? And he's like, I have no idea. And I'm just smiling, playing away, and I since just never gave it up.
I never actually learned how to read the sheet music for it, and I can play a fair amount. I just don't like have the time or keep up with it and stuff.
I learned to read it in high school, but I don't mess with sheet music. I can read it. I know what stuff is, but I don't mess with that.
Yeah, I mean you can hear it.
Mm-hmm.
If you can hear it, you can play it pretty much.
I love playing by ear.
That's fun.
It is. Wow. Well, I guess maybe that's good enough for our show tonight. What do you think? We just kind of chilled and we got some talking in and found out what everybody's doing for the weekend. I think I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna watch David's class tomorrow. I think Jen's gonna be working, but how about Jen joining the group this week? She's stoked. She is ready to get some trade on. She came in here this week throughout the week and watched me on a few trades.
That's vegan knowledge, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm
That's
excited
cool.
for her journey. I'm really excited for her journey.
Yeah, that'll be awesome.
Yeah.
So is there anything that she's interested in yet?
Not particularly. She's kind of grasped the 9,
Yeah.
she's listened to some of Nate's videos already, and she's really kind of, she'll come and she'll be like, that's above the 9. Why aren't you in it? Or are you getting in it? It's above the 9. And then the other day, look, I tried not to be mean, but she's like, well, you said you wanted, my help. And I'm like, yeah, but no. Like, I'm like, I hate to say, I'm not being mean, but please, yeah, I don't do that. She was telling me, get in, and I'm like, no, no, I can't have that. I gotta focus. She's like, well, and I wasn't mean, but I'm like, babe, seriously, when you start really trading and getting into it, you will completely understand. I may come in the bedroom to say something like, hey, I just got in XRP, and you'll be like, wait a minute, I'm in this trade. You'll get it. Trust me,
It was
you'll
like,
get
shut up. Yeah. I
I
know.
get that though. Like, I cannot be bothered. Like,
Yep.
do not.
Yeah.
And
I've
it's not
got to
even
watch the screen.
yeah, and it's not even like I don't know how to describe it, but it's not like me trying to be an asshole, but like when
Yeah.
I've got, when I've got 100 contracts on something, like the last thing I want to do is have you come in to tell me that you have a paper cut.
Yep.
Like, no. Or what's
They
for
took-
dinner?
Did I
Are
tell you
you out
about
of
my
your damn mind?
Yeah, did I tell you about my $1,800 bagel?
Right?
No, shit. I shit you not. My wife comes in and it's in the morning, and she's got a late start for the day. She's having breakfast, so she comes in and she goes, "What do you want on your bagel?" And it's and I'm heavy in trades in the early part of the day, right around 10 o'clock. And I just turned to look at her to say, "Why are you bothering me?" Just I don't
not
care.
a knife drop.
Like smear peanut butter. I don't even care. Cream cheese. I don't know, just make something. And thank you, but I really need to be left alone. I turned back around. I'm $1,800 down on my trade because it dipped out, and I'm like, it's so close to my stop. I'm like, son of a bitch. So it's like, and realistically, if I was sitting there focused, I would have tapped out.
Exactly.
But because I turned to look away, I had to let it, it had down there challenging my stop, and I'm like, son of a bitch. Yeah. Distractions can be very, very expensive, especially like, Coach was helping somebody that one day, and he was in heavy the shit ton of contracts, and he turns away to start talking to somebody, and spy knife dropped on him.
I think it was his wife.
Was it?
I think his wife came in.
Oh, okay. I don't remember. I thought he was helping. Well, the one time I could have sworn, I know his wife was talking with him one day about lunch or something. There was that one time, but there was another time where he started talking to somebody to help him, and it dipped out like a shit ton of money. It was like over 10 grand. Like it was just.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
He's like it knows you're looking away.
Oh.
Yeah,
What's
no.
that?
Nope. Mm-mm.
Yeah, it's like, this is why you don't do that. Here, let me show you why you always look at me. You always pay attention, damn it. So, guys, have a fantastic weekend.
Have a good weekend, everybody.
We're all dipping out. Everybody have a great weekend.
Have a good weekend, Ange.
Yep.
Thanks for sharing, Pebbles. Good luck next week too, buddy.
Thanks for all the help there, Palm and Dawn and Ange. Appreciate it.
You're so welcome.
Have a good weekend, guys.
Eminem, Victor, Bucko, F2, everybody in the Joey Joe.
Everybody in Chatland. I love your faces.
Everybody in Chatland. Love you guys. We'll see y'all on Monday. Papa Todd.
Right. I'm gonna go ahead and find Coach's rules here. And peace and blessings, gang.
Please follow the rules. Nobody go rogue. Some of the rules that we have to and live and die by in here is do not lose more than 1 to 3% of your total account value in any given day. Make sure you have stop losses on each and every trade, regardless of shares and or options. Make sure you guys are practicing small base hits. Don't go for home runs. Allow the runners to run and stop out the losers. If you're a new trader, make sure you are paper trading using a simulated trading system such as Webull or some of the other ones that are out there. If you are an expert trader, please make sure you also are being careful the first 3 minutes and the last 8 to 9 minutes of the day. Those are the absolute most volatile times in the entire market. Also, if you're a newer trader, please don't trade in the first 30 minutes or the last hour of the day. Those are the most dangerous times.